keep trying to tell people to drink their own.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're bringing you some Far Cry New Dawn gameplay and performance. Now I am playing in HDR, so if anyone's seen the colours looking a bit strange, you need to have a HDR display, and please enable HDR in Windows and also on YouTube. So just going for the in-game settings now, playing at HDR 10 using a resolution of 3840 by 2160. In the terms of quality, everything is maxed out. I've disabled motion blur, of course, as I don't like it, and terms of advanced settings, field of view is at 100, resolution scale is at 1, which means native. If you change that, it will no longer be playing at the resolution you've selected, for those who don't know. Anyone who's interested in the HDR settings, I'm using 500 candela per square meter, and that's the maximum. My screen can do more, but it just looks okay for me, so that's why I've selected it. Okay, so Far Cry New Dawn. I actually really enjoyed this game. It was pleasantly surprising. So this is set after the events of Far Cry 5. It's almost like a post-apocalyptic world almost. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I've already beat the game before, but I'm just playing through it again. Now, one thing I like about it, it's got kind of a Walking Dead kind of. So it's got like a Walking Dead kind of theme to it in terms of the Negan saga, where you've got these two twins called Lulu and Nikki, I think, and they pretty much either take everything that you have and kill you, or you join them. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty much like the Saviors from the Walking Dead saga. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. So they run with a gang of people called the Highwaymen. They're like the gang that are terrorizing the land at the moment, and you just find them all around. So you can see a few of them here. I'm going to take them out. Yeah, which is why I'm going to take them out from range. Damn. Right. When they're moving, it is pretty hard to hit them. So we've taken all of these guys out. Let's just grab some ammo and some other things that they may have on them. I wonder what they were guarding.
Fighting the highwaymen is no walk in the park. If you ever find yourself outgunned, you can craft better weapons with the resources you find in Hope County. And remember, the folks in Prosperity are here to help in any way they can. We won't let you down.
Okay, so there's loads of scrap you can collect and trade. So currency obviously is no longer dollars or anything like that. It's a post-apocalyptic world, so it's about materials and things. Okay, so I've got an outpost that I want to take out. Okay, I've been spotted.
The highwaymen have chapters all over the country, and every now and then they send supply drops to help each other out. If you see a plane, it's likely one of theirs. It's always a race to see who can claim the drop first, and it's always a fight.
Okay, let's go and get that drop. I am on the way to a settlement, actually, that I should be taking down. Damn. Like, this gun's almost like it's offset by a slight margin. Sometimes I think I'm aiming correctly. I think this moves ever so slightly. So I want to try and take this loot while my buddy here watches my back. Okay, we got everything. Let's get out of here. The performance is good. I mean, at 4K, getting over 60 frames per second quite easily. So if you've got an RTX 2080 Ti, running this at 4K is a joy. Using the HD texture pack as well. If you're wondering why there's so much VRAM being used, 10.6 at the moment, which is pretty high. But that's because of the HD texture pack, which you don't need to use. Now you got one of these kind of scavenger people. They always have pretty good loot on them.
Cap, there's reports the highwaymen have got people stealing goods off of corpses. These guys are chicken shits, and they'll run at the first sign of trouble. If you see any, take them out and loot their backpacks. They'll be full of things you can use.
Yeah. We've just knocked him all the way down here. Let's see what he's got. Good stuff. There's nothing under here as well. I just want to double check. Keep getting taken off route. You got to be careful as well. People just steal your vehicle. So just go and take back the quad bike and get out of here. In terms of CPU usage, typical Ubisoft game. One thing I will say is it is using all the cores. So the optimization in terms of core utilization isn't too bad. It's not too heavy. I'm assuming there's going to be heavier parts in the game, but 30% isn't too bad. Plus it's well distributed. What the hell? I don't know what's going on over there. Someone's just getting ravaged by some kind of animal.
People willing to trade. For a lot of us, it's the only way to stay alive. You see people with backpacks wandering around. It's a good idea to see what items they're carrying, or what they're willing to pay for yours.
Wow, we're getting shot up here. It's quite a lot. I'm gonna switch to my. Let's shoot my pistol. Don't really need to waste all my good bullets.
I'm gonna barf. It hurts so much.
As you can see, the enemies revive. They're dead as well. They tend to booby trap their vehicles, so I'm not really gonna take one of theirs because it's a risk. It might blow up in a few seconds. So I'm just gonna take R1 and make a move. It's taking so long to get to this outpost because we're just getting attacked so much.
Let me see what I can do.
Right, we're at the outpost now, so if I remember correctly, if you could complete a whole outpost in stealth, you get a bonus. I wonder if that still remains the same. So the person that's with you, your backup, will tend to follow your lead. So if you're trying to do it stealthily, they will also try to follow suit in a way. But I don't really have any stealth weapons, so unless I do this whole thing with takedowns, it's not really going to work. So I'm going to try and do as many takedowns as possible. The HDR implementation on this, I haven't spoken about it, but it is good. It really does brighten up the game. The specular highlights are good, especially when there's light sources and the moon as well. I will have to do some gameplay at night time and another video, but it does really bring out the game. I've played the game in standard definition, and as soon as I got a high dynamic range TV or display, it just really improved the game. There's a lot of these guys. I don't really have any stealth weapons, so I don't really know how I'm going to go about doing this, but if I get spotted, I get spotted, but I want to try and do this covertly. Take this stuff. Alright, this geezer, there's a guy up there. Man, there's so many of them. I really need to be careful here. I want to try and take this guy out first. Seems to be the one that's exposed and vulnerable. So you'll be the first to die, unfortunately.
Hey, what was that?
I gotta say the takedowns are brutal. I'm gonna move the body. I don't want to alert anyone unnecessarily. Drop it over here. I did see some stuff I could loot in here as well. Could be useful. Alright, I'll assume you can still kind of tag the enemies, but I don't think I've got a camera yet. That's something I need to get. So doing 2145 megahertz on the core clock of my RTX 2080 Ti. I've pushed the card a little bit higher than I normally do. As you can see, the GPU V core is now 10 or 1.075 volts rather than I used to play it at 1.050. An extra 25 volts is pretty much meaning it doesn't really do anything in the way of the card to stress it, but it does stabilize overclock higher than 20-30 megahertz. I don't think who do I kill first. Alright. He's perfectly hidden behind the bar, so there's no real need to move the body. Oh no, he actually did get seen. Okay, let's get this thing going. Oh damn, they called in reinforcements. What all about the alarm system? Take this guy out. Okay, I'm just gonna have to kill everyone that rushes at me. Let's get up somewhere high where we can really use this sniper rifle.
Keep the roads clear, 'cause backup's coming!
You can bring whoever you want.
Keep an eye out for scouts. They've always got intel on what's happening in Hope County. Whether it's an outpost, buried treasure, or a new ally in our fight, they'll always update your map with the location of something worth your while.
These guys are armored, so it's a bit harder to kill. Whoa. Quite a few of them, so I need to watch my back. Not the most effective gun from close range, but did the trick. Damn. Headshot made him backflip. Alright, so this is the first settlement we've been able to take back. I'm happy with that. Done a good job.
Great job getting that place back for us. We'll put the ethanol you got to good use. Now, you have two choices. You can keep the outpost, or you can scavenge it. That means the highwaymen will come back with tougher reinforcements. But if you take it again, you'll get more ethanol.
Why the hell are these guys shooting? The hell, man? I'm not gonna kill them because I know there's definitely a misunderstanding here. So maybe I'll just, because I drew my weapon or something, I'm not too sure. Anyway, as you can see, it's getting dark now, so you guys will be able to see what the HDR is like at night time. So I want to move on to another settlement or maybe something else that we can do just to kind of keep things interesting. There seems to be something going on over here. I'm curious to see what it is, so let's take our
Glad you're gonna help out Prosperity.
our vehicle and make a move. I just want to make sure I got enough bullets.
That train
That's
crash must
fine.
have been terrible for you.
A few things we can loot here. Alright, I just want to make sure I got some. I haven't got enough combat supplies. Wonder if I can buy some
Got the twins' attention. Sorry.
stuff to actually heal me up. I guess there isn't any medical packs around, so I'm just going to take the car and leave.
Bring that vehicle around for a tune-up now.
Let's ride.
Alright, let's do it. So you can see the light sources are very, very potent. In HDR, it really, really does make a difference. You even got like a northern light sky, which is pretty cool. But you have to have a standard, definitely, you have to have a HDR screen to see the difference. When you go from SDR to HDR in this game, you really, really do notice the difference, and it's definitely worth playing in HDR. I'm just going to ignore most of the distractions and just make my way to the destination. Holding 40 degrees here, which is definitely decent temps. This is why I can probably maintain what you would consider a decent overclock for an RTX 2080 Ti. You won't see too many people online doing over 2145 megahertz on their core clock. I also added 700 megahertz to the memory, and that helps kind of negate the bandwidth bottleneck, which is a thing. The RTX Titan, of course, has a 384-bit bus, so it doesn't really have the same problem that the RTX 2080 Ti does. Right, so let's take these guys out. Right, took out the alarm system, so won't get ambushed this time. Right, I need to get to cover. Good job. Yep, great. Some of these guys are armored, so you can't one-shot kill them. Oh, you ducked just at the right time. What a lucky guy. Very evasive. Come on. This has had to be the hardest enemy I've ever had to lock onto. This shows you the NPCs are not that stupid, I guess. It's good. RPG, huh? Oh gosh. They duck at really, really awkward times. Okay guys, so I've given you some good day and night gameplay and performance all in HDR. So hopefully you got a good look at how the game performs as well. So 4K, absolutely no problem with this type of system, and very, very good game as well. Highly recommend it. So that's pretty much it for me guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and always thanks for watching.